the differences between extratropical cyclones and tropical cyclones, right? Extratropical cyclones, which are also called as temperate cyclones. So the difference between temperate cyclones and tropical cyclones. So the first difference is the origin. What causes an extratropical cyclone? It is a polar front phenomenon. Extratropical cyclones are polar front phenomenon. That means at the polar line, when a cold air mass and a hot or warm air mass, when a cold air mass and a warm air mass come together, we see this extratropical cyclone happening. So extratropical cyclone happens at the polar front, and that too when cold air mass and warm air mass come together. Extratropical cyclone can occur both on land and also on the sea. Both on land and also on the sea. Whereas a tropical cyclone, where does it occur? We have already discussed this. Tropical cyclone occurs only on seas. Right? Tropical cyclone occurs only on the seas. We can see these tropical cyclones occurring in Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea also. We can see these tropical cyclones happening in Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea also. This is a sea phenomenon. Right? On lands, tropical cyclones don't occur. Whereas temperate cyclones are also known as extratropical cyclones. They occur on both land and sea also. And extratropical cyclones is a air mass phenomenon. When cold air mass and warm air mass come together, we have this extratropical cyclone. How does a tropical cyclone occur? In the seas, when the temperature is above 27 degrees Celsius, right? When the temperature in the sea is above 27 degrees Celsius, a low pressure system will be created. A low pressure system will be created, which causes the tropical cyclone. So this is how tropical cyclone origins, right? This is the first difference. And second difference is how much area do they cover? Extratropical cyclones cover a larger area compared to tropical cyclones, right? So area wise, if we see, extratropical cyclones, they cover a larger area than tropical cyclones. This is the second point. This is the second point in comparison. And third point is speed. Now, which cyclone moves faster? Which cyclone moves faster? Tropical cyclones move faster. Tropical cyclones move faster than temperate cyclones. Right? If we see speed wise, tropical cyclones are, or the tropical cyclones, they move at higher speeds. This is another difference. And fourth one is damage wise. Which are more devastating or which cause more damage? It is the tropical cyclones usually. Right? It is the tropical cyclones. And please find out, tropical cyclones have different names by which they are called in the tropical region. I have covered this in one video, guys. Right? Just revise those things. Right? They are called as willies in Australia. They are called as typhoons in Japan area. Right? Nearby Japan, they are called typhoons. Similarly, in US, they are called hurricanes. In US, they are called hurricanes. These all are nothing but different names for tropical cyclones. Right? Different names for tropical cyclones. Right? Those things, please try to focus. And the next difference is direction. How do these cyclones move? Now, the temperate cyclones, they move from west to east. Temperate cyclones move from west to east, whereas tropical cyclones move from east to west. Right? Tropical cyclones move from east to west, whereas temperate cyclones move from west to east. Now we can remember this logically also. Where do temperate cyclones happen? In the temperate region. Right? What are the dominant winds in the temperate region? It is the westerly winds. It is the westerly winds. Westerly winds blow from west to east. Right? Westerly winds blow from west to east. So they carry the cyclone also from west to east. Right? So temperate cyclones move from west to east. Now tropical cyclones. What are the dominant winds in these tropical cyclones? If you see the northern hemisphere, it is the northeast trade winds. Northeast trade winds, are the dominant winds in the northern tropical region. Now these northeast trade winds, they blow from east to west, right? They blow from east to west. Hence, tropical cyclones also move from east to west, right? Please revise all the directions of different winds, guys, right? Then you can have a better picture about how the cyclone moves, So these are all some broad differences between extratropical cyclones and tropical cyclones. The other name for extratropical cyclones is temperate cyclones, right? Temperate cyclones. Now these temperate cyclones also bring western cyclonic disturbances during the southwest monsoon. Please try to connect these extratropical cyclones to monsoon topic also, right? We know that one of the way how the western part of India gets rainfall is because of the western cyclonic disturbances from the Mediterranean Sea, right? You can see this line in the NCERT also. So the western cyclonic disturbances from the Mediterranean Sea are nothing but these extratropical cyclones, which are moving from west towards the east, right? Right? So these are the differences between tropical and extratropical cyclones. Now, what are the ideal conditions for formation of a tropical cyclone? For temperate cyclone, we have discussed what is that? Cold air mass and warm air mass should come together. That will create an anticyclonic circulation, which in turn leads to a cyclone. For tropical cyclone, first and foremost condition is the sea temperature should be more than 27 degrees Celsius. The sea temperature should be more than 27 degrees Celsius. That is the first point. Second thing is Coriolis force should be present. Only then tropical cyclones will occur. And yesterday we have discussed Coriolis force is 0 at equator or poles, guys. It is 0 at the equator. Coriolis force is 0 at the equator. That means Coriolis force is not present at the equator. Now that implies tropical cyclones are not seen in the equator regions, right? Tropical cyclones are not seen in the equator regions. So the second condition for a tropical cyclone is presence of Coriolis force. Third condition is small variations in the vertical wind speed. Fourth condition is a pre-existing weak low pressure. Right? So all this is covered in detail in one of the video, guys. So please refer that video for better picture, right? Just now we are just revising this, so we don't have much time. So this is all about temperate cyclones and tropical cyclones. And another homework for you is list down all the recent tropical cyclones. Please list them out which affected India, and see to it that you know whether that cyclone has happened in the Bay of Bengal or the Arabian Sea. Whether those cyclones happened in the Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea, because questions can be from that area also, right? Right? So this is everything about cyclones, guys. The second topic for today is Human Development Report. So India's rank improved by 1 rank, right? From 131 in the last year to 130 this year, right? So India is ranking 130 out of the 189 countries in this Human Development Report. Now we have discussed how to analyze any reports or indexes. First, India ranking. Second, who publishes it? That we have to know. So Human Development Report is published by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. So UNDP publishes this Human Development Report, right? UNDP publishes this Human Development Report. And what is the score of India? Score of India is 0.638. And India's rank is 130 out of 189 countries. Improved by 1 rank. Last year it was 131. And who are the founders of this Human Development Report? It is Indian Nobel Laureate Amartya Sen, Indian Nobel laureate Amartya Sen, and Pakistani economist Mahbub ul Haq. Pakistani economist Mahbub ul Haq. So these were the two people who were responsible for formation of this human development report, right? Formation of this human development report. And from 2010 year onwards, inequality adjusted human development index is also being published, right? Inequality adjusted human development index. Please try to find the score of India when it is adjusted to inequality, right? And also one thing to note here is, similar to human development report, we have human capital report, right? Human capital report, which has ranked India at the bottom countries, right? Who publishes that human capital report? It is the World Bank which publishes the human capital report, right? So just a word will change the entire index. So human development index is by UNDP, United Nations Development Program, whereas human capital report is by the World Bank, right? Please try to find out the ranking of India in the human capital report as well, right? That will be useful for you. So in this way, we need to be careful about indexes, guys, right? Because last time, what was the index they have asked? Global Competitiveness Report. 2019 prelims, they have asked about Global Competitiveness Report, that is published by World Economic Forum. That is published by World Economic Forum. So reports and indexes, we have to be careful. And next thing is an important question, National Wetland Atlas. In the year 2011, National Wetland Atlas was prepared. Now, who has prepared this atlas? This atlas was prepared by ISRO. This National Wetland Atlas was prepared by ISRO, right? ISRO. So this can be an important bit. And Wetland Mitras, concept called Wetland Mitras is also there in India, right? It's just some 2 to 3 lines. Just refer it in the net, guys. It will be useful for you. And also there are wetland health cards in India as well. There are wetland health cards in India as well. Last year prelims, if we see 2019 prelims, they have asked about wetland management rules 2010. Sorry, they have asked about wetland management rules 2010. Now, why did they ask about wetland management rules 2010? Because in the year 2017, we have come up with new wetland management rules, right? So they were changed in 2017. That's why they have asked about 2010 wetland management rules. Now, regarding wetlands, 10 new wetlands were added as Ramsar sites in India. We have discussed this also from the states of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Maharashtra. Maharashtra has got its first Ramsar site this time, right? Maharashtra has got its first Ramsar site. Please try to remember the names of all those 10 and where are they located, right? They are also important. And which is the largest wetland site in India? It is the Sundarbans. Yes, the Sundarbans is the largest Ramsar site in India. Last year, Sundarbans was made as a Ramsar site. So try to focus on wetlands, guys. That is also an important area. And Kaziranga. Kaziranga is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, right? What is Kaziranga famous for? Kaziranga is famous for one-horned rhinoceros. One-horned rhinoceros. What is the IUCN status of one-horned rhinoceros? It is vulnerable. It is vulnerable, not endangered. Right? IUCN status of one-horned rhinoceros is vulnerable. Is one-horned rhinoceros present only in India? No. It is also found in the foothill regions of mountains in Bhutan and other countries as well, right? So these are the areas where we have to focus, guys, right? And few days back, we have discussed what is known as Mini Kaziranga, right? Which national park is called as Mini Kaziranga? What is that? It is Orang National Park. Orang National Park. We have discussed this few days back, right? Please revise, guys. So Orang National Park is also known as Mini Kaziranga. And Kaziranga is located in Assam. Orang National Park is also located in Assam, right? Dibru-Saikhowa is also in Assam. Because of the oil gas leak, Dibru-Saikhowa was in the news. And Pakwe Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. Why was that in the news? Etalin hydropower project. hydropower project is being constructed nearby this Pakwe Tiger Reserve, right? That's why it's there. And Dehing Patkai Bum Wildlife Sanctuary. Dehing Patkai Bum Wildlife Sanctuary. Where is this located? Dehing Patkai Bum, we have discussed this, guys. Dehing Patkai Bum is located in Assam. Why is this Dehing Patkai Bum Wildlife Sanctuary important? Because coal mining is going on here. Coal mining is going on here, which might disturb the habitats of the species which are living in this Dehing Patkai Bum, right? So Dehing Patkai Bum is located in Assam. In this way, we need all these wildlife sanctuaries should be at our fingertips, guys, right? Where are they located? What are the important species? Why was it in the news? Right? It will be useful for us only. And next thing is salinity in the soil. Salinity in the soil. This is important because where was the COP of UNCCD, United Nations Combat Convention on Combating Desertification? Where was that summit held? That summit was held in India. The recent COP of UNCCD, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. That summit was held in India, right? So that's why desertification topic is very important for us this year. Similarly, CMS Convention, Convention on Migratory Species, CMS, also known as Bonn Convention, that also took place in India, in Gandhinagar, right? So that convention is also important for us in this year. Why? Because India was the host to these conventions, right? India was the host to these conventions. So each and every detail we need to know. So regarding desertification, one of the important reasons for desertification is salinity of the soil. Salinity of the soil. If salinity of the soil increases, soil becomes infertile and desertification will take place. See, what is desertification? To simply put it, desertification is nothing but soil, fertile land becoming a wasteland, right? Fertile land is becoming a wasteland, which is of no use. Plants won't be growing there. We can't grow crops also, right? That soil cannot hold water also. So it becomes a wasteland, which is of no use. This is known as desertification, right? India has increased its desertification targets in the recent convention. Please try to find that also, guys. Right? India tried to increase its desertification targets. It said it will convert additional 5 million hectares of additional desertified land into fertile land, right? So the targets were revised by India. Please go through those targets. Now, salinity in the soil. Salinity means increase in some salts of sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc. Right? Increase in salts. Not only NaCl, sodium chloride, but also other salts are there in the soil. Right? Increase in the salts of potassium, sodium, magnesium, etc. Because of increase in these salts in the soil, the salinity of the soil will increase. If salinity increases, then it is not fit for agriculture. It is not fit for agriculture and it is a threat to food security. Now, why is this salinity increasing? That is important for us. This salinity is increasing because of various reasons. First reason is excessive irrigation. Excessive irrigation. Right? Excessive irrigation is the most important reason. Now, one of the problem in agriculture is inefficient irrigation technologies which the farmers use, because of which more and more water is being used to irrigate the crops, right? So the water is getting stagnant in the crop fields, right? It's getting stagnant. There is no proper drainage, right? There is no proper drainage. And when evaporation takes place because of sun, the water is getting evaporated, leaving the salts behind in the soil. In this way, huge salts are getting accumulated on the surface of the soil, right? Huge salts are getting accumulated on the surface of the soil. So this is the important reason, guys, excessive irrigation, and especially excessive irrigation in dry climatic regions is facing a huge problem. Why? In dry climatic conditions, it is more favorable to form salts, right? In dry climatic conditions, if we excessively irrigate the lands, then in dry climatic conditions, water will be evaporated much faster and the entire salt will be left on the soil, right? So this is one of the important reason. Second reason is sea water intrusion. sea water intrusion. That means sea water is coming into contact with the groundwater, right? Sea water is coming into contact with the groundwater, because of which salinity in the water is increasing, right? And not only water, soil is also getting saline because of sea water. Sea water is coming towards the land. Why? We have number of reasons. One is increase in the sea level because of climate change, right? We have discussed this yesterday only. Why the sea level rises? So increase in the sea level rise, the sea level is approaching more and more towards the land. And the second reason is wetlands, right? We are destroying the wetlands. Because of urbanization, we are destroying the wetlands. What are wetlands? Wetlands are buffers. They are buffers between sea and land, right? They are buffers between sea and land. Wetlands help a lot in preventing the salt water to enter into the lands. But what we are doing, right, in the name of urbanization, wetlands are being destroyed. Now, when wetlands are not there, there is no buffer. When there is no buffer, the salt water will be approaching the land, right? The salt water will be approaching the land. So this is also an important reason why salinity of the soil is increasing. And the third reason is southwest monsoon winds, right? Southwest monsoon winds are also an important reason for salinity. How? As we have discussed a few days back, southwest monsoon winds have 3 branches in the Arabian Sea. What are those 3 branches? One branch goes to Kerala and the Western Ghats part. It gives rainfall there. Second branch goes north of Bombay, right? It touches Madhya Pradesh, central India, and goes to Chota Nagpur plateau. Third branch, we have revised this also, guys, few days back. Third branch will flow via Gujarat, parallel to the Aravallis, and reaches Punjab and Haryana, right? So this third branch, which flows parallel to Aravalli, what it does is it carries, right? In the Gujarat region, we know the run of Kutch region, right? We know the run of Kutch region in Gujarat. Now what happens is, at the time these winds approach the Gujarat, they lose the moisture. They lose the moisture. They carry the sand and deposit there, right? They carry the sand and salt particles and deposit there, right? White color desert type conditions we can see, guys, right? In the Gulf of Kutch region. Just Google the images, you will get a better idea. So these are some of the reasons why salinity of the soil is increasing. And this is an important topic because desertification is an important topic for this year's prelims, right? And Indian Cooling Action Plan, India Cooling Action Plan, this is brought by Environment Ministry, right? Try to get further details about this India Cooling Action Plan. It has some important 5 to 6 points, guys. Please go through it and note down all those points, right? Right, but for prelims, we at least we should know Indian Cooling Action Plan brought by Environment Ministry, and a National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, NAFCC. What is this NAFCC? This is for climate change efforts, right? This is to adapt for climate change. Now, whose initiative is this? This is the initiative of Government of India. This is the initiative of Government of India. It is a central sector scheme. It is a central sector scheme. This National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change is a central sector scheme. It's a central sector scheme. And this is basically to support climate adaptation activities. Climate change adaptation activities. And which is the implementing agency of this NAFCC? It is the NABARD. NABARD is the implementing agency for this National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change. National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, right? So this is about National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, guys. And the next topic is freshwater turtles. Freshwater turtles. Seawater turtles, one of the important species we have discussed already. What is it? It is the olive ridley turtles, right? Olive ridley turtles. Similarly, we have freshwater turtles also. The point to note here is olive ridley turtles are not freshwater turtles. They are seawater turtles, right? They are seawater turtles. We can see them near the coast of Odisha. We can see them near the coast of Odisha. Similarly, India has freshwater turtle species also, right? Freshwater turtle species also. Please find about the names of those freshwater species of India, right? These were in the news because there were number of articles where Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, WCCB, has caught many organized crimes regarding freshwater turtles. They were being illegally traded for poaching and meat purposes. For poaching and meat purposes, freshwater turtles of India are being illegally traded. This was found out by Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. What is this Wildlife Crime Control Bureau? This is a statutory body under the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Under which act? Wildlife Protection Act, right? Wildlife Protection Act. We have discussed this also, right? So try to revise this, guys. And freshwater turtles are important because the northeast part of India, is considered as one of the freshwater turtle biodiversity hotspot. The northeastern part of India is considered as one of the freshwater turtle biodiversity hotspot, right? So that's why it's important. And olive ridley turtles is also an important topic, guys. We have discussed that already. What is the IUCN status of olive ridleys? It's vulnerable. Where is it found? It's found in the coast of Odisha, where Rushikulia beach and Gahirmatha beach, right? What is the important term we need to know about olive ridley turtles? Aribada, right? Aribada. What is Aribada? Mass nesting of these olive ridley turtles. We can see olive ridley turtles coming in huge numbers to lay eggs, right? And also another recent initiative taken by Odisha was fishing ban during the nesting time of olive ridley turtles. This initiative was taken by Odisha state government, right? And there is a wildlife sanctuary also for the turtles, olive ridley turtles. What is it? It's Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary. Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary, right? All these points are about olive ridley turtles, guys. That's one important area, a potential area. And next is deserts. So in tropical region, where can we see the deserts? In tropical region, usually we can see the deserts in western part of the continents, right? What is tropical region? Tropical region means 23.5 degrees south to 23.5 degrees north. This is the tropical region, right? In this tropical region, where can we see the deserts, right? Try to recollect from geography, guys. We can see the deserts usually in the western part of the continents, western part of the countries, right? Why can we see them only on the western part of the continents mostly? There are many reasons. First is cold currents flow through the western part of the continents. Please try to recollect, guys, right? If we take any region, assume North Atlantic region. What is the current which goes from east to west? It is North Atlantic equatorial current. North Atlantic equatorial current will become into Gulf Stream, right? Gulf Stream is a warm current that is on the eastern part of the American continent, right? That is on the eastern part of American continent. From there it becomes North Pacific drift. From there it becomes Canary current. So Canary current is the current that comes from poles towards the equator. It is a cold current. And this is on the western part of European continent, right? This is in the western part of European continent, right? You can get a better picture if you follow maps, guys, right? These all are important areas, important topics. So easily for prelims, what you have to remember is in the tropical regions, western part of the continents, we can see the deserts. Why? Because we have cold currents there. Now what happens if cold currents are there? Cold currents are there implies the temperature of the ocean is cool there. That implies clouds won't be forming there. If clouds are not forming, then how can there be rainfall, right? So that is the important reason. Second important reason is direction of the winds. What is the dominant wind in the tropical region? Northeast trade winds, right? Northeast trade winds. Now take any continent. If you take the eastern part of the continent, these northeast trade winds will be blowing from sea to land. Now, any wind which is blowing from sea to land will bring moisture and give rainfall. Right? Now, take the western part of the continent. If you take the western part of the continent, the direction of the wind is from land towards the sea. The direction of the wind is from the land towards the sea. When wind is blowing from land towards the sea, there are very less chances of rainfall. Right? There are very less chances of rainfall. Now, these are the two reasons why we see deserts mostly in the western part of tropical regions. That is between 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south. Mostly we can see the deserts in the western part. Right? We can see the deserts in the western part. And what are horse latitudes? What are horse latitudes, guys? Horse latitudes, you might have studied it in geography. Right? Horse latitudes are nothing but those latitudes where the air is coming down rather than rising up. Right? Where the air is coming down rather than rising up. Right? This area is called horse latitudes, between 25 degrees north to 30 degrees north and 25 degrees south to 30 degrees south. In this band, we can find horse latitudes. Right? Horse latitudes with huge speed. The air will be coming down on the earth, right, at the horse latitudes region, between 25 degrees north to 30 degrees north. Right? This is about horse latitudes, guys. And the next topic is Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh. Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh. What is this Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh? Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh is nothing but it has two important components. One is storing all the important crops which are necessary for food security. This is the first component. Under this Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh, first component is storing all the important crops that are for food security, right? Important crops. Now, this is also known as Agro-Food Atlas. Agro-Food Atlas. That means all the important crops that are necessary for food security in the country. All those crops are traced and collected and stored by the government. This is the first component, right? Preparing Agro-Food Atlas. Second component is generating awareness about Poshan Abhiyan. Generating awareness about Poshan Abhiyan. These are the two components. So first component is development of a food atlas. Second component is increasing awareness towards Poshan Abhiyan. These are the two components under Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh. This is the objective. And which ministry is implementing this Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh? It is Ministry of Women and Child Development. It is the Ministry of Women and Child Development, right? For prelims, guys, any scheme, what we have to do is, what is the objective? What are some features? Which is the implementing ministry, right? These are the necessary things for prelims. Challenges, recommendations, all those things we can see for mains, right? So for prelims, the things which are important is, which is the ministry implementing? What is the objective? What are the important features? And any important buzzwords in that particular scheme. That's it, guys. Right? So Agro-Food Atlas is related to Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh. Bharat Poshan Krishi Kosh. Aravalli ranges, right? So one of the question in previous year prelims was, Western Ghats touches how many states? Right? Western Ghats touch how many states? 3, 4, 5, 6. In that way, one question was given. So similarly for Aravallis also, and similarly not only Aravallis, important mountains. What are all the Himalayan states? How many Himalayan states are there in India? How many states does Eastern Ghats touch? How many states does Western Ghats touch? How many states does Aravalli touch? Right? We need to be thorough with all these. And Aravalli usually starts from Gujarat. It starts from Gujarat and it will extend till Delhi. It will start from Gujarat and this will extend till Delhi. And the highest peak in Aravallis is Guru Shikhar, right? Guru Shikhar, it is present in Mount Abu. So the highest peak of Aravallis is in Guru Shikhar, that is present in Mount Abu. This is in Rajasthan. So the highest peak of Aravallis is in the Rajasthan, where Guru Shikhar, Mount Abu. Similarly, what is the highest peak in Western Ghats? The highest peak in the Western Ghats is Anaimudi peak, right? Anaimudi peak. All these are there in NCERT, guys. Please revise them. They are useful. Right? So this is about Aravallis, guys. So similarly, try to find out Himalayas. What all states does Himalayas cover? What is the highest peak in the Himalayas? Right? Similarly for Aravallis, similarly for Western Ghats, similarly for Eastern Ghats. Right? So this is one way, one smart way how to study geography, guys. Right? Seeing the previous year questions and trying to relate them to different topics in the current. Right? This is one way how we can try to read geography, make geography interesting. Right? So we all know what hibernation is. And what is hibernation? In the winter, during the winters, to save energy and to save heat, what do animals do? They go and they sleep in dark regions and underground regions where they can save warmth, heat and energy. Right? And why do they sleep? They basically sleep to save energy so that they need not waste energy for any activities. Right? Because in severe winter conditions, it is difficult for the animals to search for food and grab it. Right? So that's why what animals do, they go and they sleep in dark and underground regions, right? In order to save the heat, save the energy, right? For that they do sleeping. This is called hibernation. Similarly, we have another term called estivation. Estivation, A-E-S-T-I-V-A-T-I-O-N, estivation. Estivation. What is estivation? In estivation also animals sleep, similar to hibernation. However, hibernation animals do it in the winters, estivation animals do in the summers. Right? Estivation animals do in the summer. Right? Why do animals estivate in the summer? Because metabolism of an organism will increase in summer. Right? Metabolism, that is the rate at which food is digested, increases in summer, almost for all the individuals, even for humans also. So that is the reason why the animals try to estivate during the summers. Right? That is why they try to estivate during the summers to save energy. To save energy. Right? So estivation happens in summer, hibernation happens in winter. Right? In Shankaran IAS, guys, you can find all the important abbreviations and the definitions for important terms. Right? So from there also we are seeing some questions. Right? And also I have asked you to find about keystone species, umbrella species, flagship species, right? Their definitions. Indicator species, we have discussed also all these. Right? Please try to revise again. What is an indicator species? What is a keystone species? What is a flagship species, right? What is an umbrella species? Please try to revise all these, guys. Right? Ecological succession, that also we have discussed. Primary and secondary ecological succession. Right? Please revise all those things. And now we'll see an interesting question about a topic. So here, these kind of questions also we can see here. They will give description about a particular topic, right? They will give description in 3 to 4 lines about something, and they will ask to find that. Right? So question goes this way, guys. A water harnessing technology. It is basically a water harvesting technology with its origin in Iran. With its origin in Iran. It was built by Bahmani sultans in 15th century in Bidar. In Bidar. It taps the groundwater sources and transports it through an underground tunnel to surface canals. Right? What this water harvesting technology is, it will basically tap the groundwater sources and through tunnels, it brings that groundwater to the surface. And this water harvesting technology origin is in Iran. And it was built in India also by kingdom called Bahmani Sultan Kingdom. These Bahmani Sultans have constructed this water harvesting technology in Bidar. Right? In Bidar. That is nearby Karnataka. Right? In Karnataka, they have constructed this water harvesting. Now, what is this? And 4 options are given. One is Ahar pines. First option is Ahar pines. Second option is Karez, K-A-R-E-Z, Karez. Third option is Khadin, K-H-A-D-I-N, Khadin. And fourth option is Eri, E-R-I, Eri. So, which of the following is that is described, right? So, here I have already given you 20 important water harvesting technologies that are famous in India from different states. Right? We have discussed those 20 traditional water harvesting methods. So if we know those 20, then we can find this, right? What are the options? First one is Ahar pines. Ahar pines. If you see that list of 20, we have discussed and we have even written down that Ahar pines is in Bihar, right? Ahar pines is a traditional water harvesting method in Bihar. We have already discussed this. So that option can be eliminated. Now, second option is Karez. We don't know that. Keep it. Third option is Khadin. Khadins are famous in Rajasthan, right? Khadins, Bawaris, Kundis, all these are there in Rajasthan. All these are traditional Rajasthan water harvesting models. This is also there in that 20 water harvesting models list, which I have given you, right? So Khadins is in Rajasthan. What is the next option? Eri. Eri is in Tamil Nadu. Eri is a water harvesting technology in Tamil Nadu. So these 3 options can be eliminated. The only option left is Karez. Karez, K-A-R-E-Z. So all the details which we have discussed just now, which I have told you, this is related to a water harvesting method called Karez. Karez, right? So this is one area, guys. Even in test series also, I am seeing questions about water harvesting, right? This is one expected area because Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Jal Jeevan Mission, right? A lot of emphasis is being given on water. A lot of emphasis is being given on water. So we need to know all this. So Ahar pines is in Bihar, Khadin is in Rajasthan, Eri is in Tamil Nadu, right? Eri is in Tamil Nadu, right? In this way, try to remember those 20 water harvesting models. Similarly, Composite Water Management Index, which publishes this? Composite Water Management Index is published by Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog schemes are important, guys. Last year also there was a question, right? Atal Innovation Mission was published by, is implemented by Niti Aayog. Right? Similarly, Composite Water Management Index is given by Niti Aayog. What was the recent index we discussed just 2 days back? Export Competitiveness Index. Export Competitiveness Index. Which publishes this Export Competitiveness Index? Niti Aayog publishes it. Which state got the first ranking? Gujarat got the first ranking. So in this way, these are important, guys. Other schemes implemented by Niti Aayog are Aspirational Districts Program. That is also implemented by Niti Aayog, right? Niti Aayog is also made a member now in disinvestment proceedings along with DPAM, that is Department of Public Asset Management, which is responsible for disinvestment. So for disinvestment, along with DPAM, Niti Aayog is also made a member now, right? So all these are important, guys. What is Jal Shakti Abhiyan? Regarding water conservation. What is Jal Jeevan Mission? Providing functional tap water connections to all the rural households by 2024. That is Jal Jeevan Mission, right? These schemes are being implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti, right? So all this we have to know, guys. And the next thing is currents, ocean currents. Ocean currents are also important, right? Please remember all the names of ocean currents and which countries do they touch. Which countries do they touch, and to which ocean do they belong, and whether they are warm currents or cold currents, right? So this is one homework, guys. This is useful for you only. Take all the ocean currents. First, see whether it is a warm current or a cold current. That is first thing. Second thing, see to which ocean does it belong. Does it belong to Atlantic? Does it belong to South Atlantic? Does it belong to Pacific? Or does it belong to Indian Ocean? See this. Then third, see which countries or continents does it touch, right? Which countries or continents does it touch? So in this way, because they can ask, they can simply say, they can give a current, name of a current, Example, say they gave Canary current, and they can ask whether it is a warm current or a cold current, right? So this area we have to be very strong, guys. So if we want to revise, we can revise them also. Take North Atlantic Ocean first, right? North Atlantic Ocean, we have North Equatorial Atlantic current. North Equatorial Atlantic current moving from east towards the west. And then it becomes Gulf Stream, which is a warm current. And that Gulf Stream becomes North Atlantic Drift. North Atlantic Drift because of the westerlies. And then again it becomes Canary current and flows down as a cold current, right? So this is in North Atlantic. Similarly, we have South Atlantic also. South Atlantic Equatorial current, right? Then it goes down as Brazilian current, right? Then it becomes west wind drift because of the westerlies. It flows from west to east, and this west wind drift will again become Benigulla current, right? It flows along Africa and comes above, right? Similarly, Southern Indian Ocean. Southern Indian Ocean, we have Indian Ocean Equatorial current. Now that becomes Agulhas current and Mozambique current. This Agulhas current and Mozambique current, they will again become west wind drift, right? Because of westerlies, and they will again touch West Australian current and flow back. They'll flow back, right? Similarly, we have currents in North Pacific and South Pacific also. North Pacific also we will be having North Equatorial Pacific Ocean current. That will become Kuroshio current. That Kuroshio current will become North Pacific drift, right? That North Pacific drift will split into Aleutian current and California current, and it will flow back. Similarly, South Pacific also. In South Pacific, we have South Pacific Equatorial current, right? That South Pacific Equatorial current will become East Australian current. This East Australian current will then become west wind drift, right? And this west wind drift will again become Peruvian current. This west wind drift will become Peruvian current, and it will again join, right? So you will get it by practice, guys. Just try to imagine the map in your mind and the ocean currents, right? See the map for 2 to 3 times and try to imagine the flows. Then you can easily remember the ocean currents, right? So if you practice that, that will be in your fingertips, right? This is like a bonus question for us, a very easy factual bonus question. If any question is there from this area, we should be able to easily answer this, right? So this is all about ocean currents. And now one logic is, if that ocean current is flowing from the equator towards the poles, then it is a warm current. If that ocean current is flowing from the poles towards the equator, then it is a cold current. If it is flowing from the equator towards the poles, then it is a warm current. If it is flowing from the poles towards the equator, then it is a cold current. Then it is a cold current. Right? So this is everything about ocean currents, guys. And now we will try to discuss about river Godavari. Right? Now I'll try to analyze this river Godavari in different ways, how they can ask for prelims. Right? Now what I suggest you is, now how I am trying to tackle river Godavari, similar way do for other important rivers also. So I will be discussing Godavari now with respect to prelims. Similarly, try to do for other rivers also, important rivers, right? So first of all, Godavari river, whether it is a Himalayan river or a peninsular river. Godavari river is a peninsular river, right? That is first thing which we have to be clear. Now second thing, Godavari river drains in Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea. Where does it drain? Godavari river drains in Bay of Bengal. It drains in Bay of Bengal. It joins Bay of Bengal, right? It is an east flowing river. That is the second point we have to be clear. Third thing, what is the origin of the river? Where is the origin of the river? So the origin of the river Godavari is at Triambakeshwar, a place called Triambakeshwar, right? This is located in Nasik district of Maharashtra. So the origin of the river Godavari is at Triambakeshwar at Nasik district in Maharashtra, right? This is in Western Ghats region. Western Ghats region, Triambakeshwar. So this is the next point, origin of the river. Now the next thing is any names for this river. So this Godavari has the name Dakshina Ganga. This Godavari has the name Dakshina Ganga, right? Dakshina Ganga. And this Godavari river also forms deltas before it joins Bay of Bengal, right? It forms deltas, and this is the second longest river in the country. This is the second longest river in the country. That's why it is known as Dakshina Ganga, right? That's why it is known as Dakshina Ganga. It is the second longest river in the country, right? And what are the different states which this Godavari touches up or drains? What is the drainage basin states of this river Godavari? Right? 7 states are there. 7 states. First is Maharashtra, right? Second is Telangana. Third is Andhra Pradesh. Fourth is Madhya Pradesh. Fifth is Karnataka. Sixth is Orissa. And seventh is Chhattisgarh. Right? Godavari also has tributaries from Chhattisgarh and Odisha also. Indravati River is one example. Right? So these are the 7 drainage states of Godavari River. What are they? Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Odisha. Right? These are the 7 drainage states. So this is one area where we have to know. And the next dimension is tributaries. What are the important tributaries of the river? Right? So for Godavari, the important tributaries are Indravati, Pranahita, right? Penganga, Manjira, Vardha, Venganga, Sabari, all these are tributaries of the river Ganga, right? And now why is, Godavari guys, I'm sorry, Godavari river tributaries. And why is this Godavari river important? Because Polavaram project is going on. Polavaram project, right? Polavaram project, a multi-purpose project called Polavaram project is going on this river Godavari. This is a national project, right? This Polavaram is a national project. National project means 100% funding from the center, right? 100% funding from the center. So that's why this is important for us. This is a national river water project and it is getting 100% funding from the center, right? 100% funding from the center. So this is how we have to analyze a river, guys. First, right? All the dimensions which you have discussed now, whether it is a Himalayan river or a peninsular river. Where does it drain? Does it drain in Bay of Bengal side or does it drain in Arabian Sea? There are some rivers which don't drain in any of these 2 regions. They are called ephemeral rivers, right? They vanish. In between itself, they'll vanish. Between itself, they'll vanish. For example, we have one river in Rajasthan called Luni River. Luni River. Now, this river will flow up to some extent, and because of heavy temperature, the river will vanish from there, right? River won't be there. So this river won't be joining either Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal. These kind of rivers are also there. So that's why try to find whether they are Himalayan or peninsular. Second, whether they drain into Bay of Bengal or Arabian. Third, any important names does it have? Fourth, what is the origin for the river Godavari? Similarly, find for Kaveri, for Ganga, for Indus, for Brahmaputra, right? Origin, and then length of the river. Second, what are any other names for the river? What are the different drainage basin states of this river? Next, what are the tributaries of the river? And why is it in the news? Right? If you try to cover all these dimensions about important rivers, then it is very useful for prelims, guys. Trust me, at least one question we can expect, right? Last year also, they have given some questions on this. Fugitive economic offender topic was in the newspaper today because of a particular person called Vijay Mallya. So fugitive economic offenders bill, that is important because this bill was mentioned by Prime Minister in a number of occasions. In many international summits, Prime Minister has spoke about this fugitive economic offenders bill, which is very much useful for economic development, right? So what we have to focus here is particulars in this fugitive economic offenders bill. Now, not everyone who defaults loans is a fugitive economic offender, right? All those criminals or all those people who have defaulted loans more than 100 crore, right? More than 100 crore. So only those cases where the default money is more than 100 crores, only then this fugitive economic offender topic will come into scene, right? Otherwise, it's not a fugitive economic offender, right? Such kind of details we have to focus, guys, for this year prelims, right? They can make that 100 crore, 50 crore, or also 10 crore or 1000 crore, right? So we need to have clarity in that aspect and also try to find all the details. Second topic is GDP. Right? For various reasons, we have seen this GDP in the news. First is some issues in GDP computing. Second, base year problem, base year issue. Right? Third, economic slowdown. Right? Now also the newspaper article was GDP fell 23.9% in the first quarter. And this fall is one of the worst in the recent decades. This fall in GDP is one of the worst in the recent decades. This is what the newspaper article says. So that's why GDP is very much important for us. And we all know that all the sectors of economy are contracting, right? All the sectors of economy are contracting, but two sectors had a positive growth. Two important sectors had positive growth even during the COVID time. One is agriculture sector and the second is fertilizer sector, right? Agricultural sector and fertilizer sector, they were seeing a positive increase, right? So that is important. And what is GDP? What is GVA, right? What is system of national accounts? What are we keeping as benchmark now? GVA at basic prices, right? We are keeping GVA at basic prices as the benchmark now to calculate our GDP. What is GVA at factor cost? What is GVA at base price, basic price? What is GVA at market price, right? We have discussed all this. What are product tax, production tax, product subsidy, production subsidy? Which is the organization that computes GDP? It is CSO, Central Statistical Organization, CSO, not NSC, CSO, right? CSO. So all this with respect to GDP. What are the different components in GDP? C plus I plus G plus X minus M, right? So in this way, we need to know all the information about GDP, guys. And the next is GST. What is GST? It is a destination-based consumption tax. It is a destination-based consumption tax. This definition we have to know, right? There was a very wonderful article about GST in today's editorial. Just go through it, right? That gives you a lot of insights. It even compares Indian GST model with Australian GST model, right? Good suggestions are given. And the third is environmental editorial article. There was an article on environment also. In that, there was a mentioning of environmental performance index. What is the rank of India? We have discussed this already. In environmental performance index, the rank of India is 168 out of 180. 168 out of 180. Don't confuse environmental performance index with climate change performance index. These two are different, right? Climate change performance index is published by German Watch. Environmental performance index is published by World Economic Forum and Yale Columbia University. I have discussed this difference also. Please revise, guys, right? In environmental performance index, India was ranked 168 out of 180. But in the climate change performance index, India was ranked in the top 10. India was ranked in the top 10. So such difference is there between environmental performance and climate change performance, right? We have also discussed climate change risk index. That is also published by German Watch. And we have discussed 3 important reports that are published by IPCC in the COP25 summit yesterday itself, right? Please revise all these, guys. Please revise. Nirmal Ganga, Aviral Ganga, what are these terms, right? Slash and burn agriculture was also mentioned. We have discussed recently. What is slash and burn? In India, it is called as jumming. In India, it's called as jumming. In Central America, it is called as milpa, right? So try to focus all these, guys. And next, some important places regarding China-India dispute are: first is Galwan Valley, second is Pangong Tso, third is Depsang Plains, fourth is Chushul, 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 that was also in the news, and fifth is Hot Springs area. All these were there in the news. So in maps, you try to find these, try to locate them north to south, east to west, west to east, whatever, guys, right? There can be a geography through maps question from this area, right? And Israel-UAE deal, just try to read about that also. And RBI's repo operations. RBI is saying that it is again willing to go for repo operations to improve liquidity. Here we need to know the dynamics, how it works, because last year prelims we have seen 4 questions on money supply dynamics. What happens if repo rate is increased? Is the liquidity increased or decreased? What happens if the repo rate is increased? What happens if it is decreased? What is open market operation? what is long-term repo rate, which is brought recently, right? What is operation twist? All these we have to know, guys. What are the quantitative methods and qualitative methods of RBI? We have discussed this also, right? So what all fall under quantitative, what all fall under qualitative, right? All this you have to be knowing, guys, and try to know the definition of stagnation also. What is stagnation? What is stagnation, right? Inflation is increasing and GDP is not increasing. That is called stagflation.